Welcome back to The Mouse and Men, where we explore the grown-up side of Disney. Find us on social media at The Mouse and Men on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go to themouseandmen.com, where you can find links to all our social media profiles. Also, you can get our top 10 list of things for grown-ups to do in Walt Disney World. We also just launched, you can find this on Facebook, The Lounge for The Mouse and Men. So be sure to join the discussion there. I am Bradley. On Zoom, here with me today is my co-caster, Chris.
What's up, buddy?
Chris, happy February.
Man, we made it. We have plunged through I'm trying to just still get my head around 2020 and that we actually made it through that year. And so now we've already got 1 month down in 2021. I'm ready to separate myself from all of what COVID was and hopefully see it in the rearview mirror versus how it's just in your face every day. But it is weird that it's already February. So happy February back to you. Can't believe that we're making it through all of the winter months already.
Right. Well, thank you, sir. It's good to be back. Today, we're continuing what we talked about last week, which was exercising on Disney property. Now we're talking about using Disney properties to exercise off property, to exercise at home. If you're joining us through video, you can see I am wearing quite a few medals. They're all Marvel themed. There's a Marvel theme to today's show from a virtual run series a couple years ago. So we're going to be talking all about exercising at home today on The Mouse and Me.
All right, so since the introduction, you had a bunch of medals around your neck, and now you've shed those. So if you're not watching it on YouTube, you will have noticed no difference. But on YouTube, we got the awards off of the shoulders and onto the table. How many virtual runs have you done for Disney?
So I've done 3, but I've got 4 medals. And no, it's not that Disney doesn't know how to count. You get a medal for, the way that I've done it is I've done these virtual runs through Run Disney. Run Disney hosts not only the races on property, but also virtual series as well. And in the summer, they do a summer 5K series where there's a 5K for June, July, and August. And if you sign up for the bundle, you get a completion medal for each plus a medal for completing all 3. So you can sign up for just one of them, or you can sign up for the whole group, if I remember correctly. So, this was summer 2019, and I'm trying to remember which one's which, but the whole series got this Marvel 80th anniversary medal. I mean, these things are hefty.
Substantial.
They are very substantial. This looks like a Captain Marvel, I believe, medal. Then there's also an Iron Man medal.
Cool.
Which is very cool. My wife says I often act like Tony Stark. Not sure if that's a compliment or not. We'll just leave that there. And then this one was for August. My birthday is in August. This is my favorite medal, the Black
Very
Panther. Cool. It's maybe the heaviest of all of them, but it's also just really cool looking with the Black Panther fangs going on there. So ran 3 5Ks the summer of 2019, 1 per month. It's great. Just on the honor system, and they send you the medals. So a lot of fun, a great way to just stay motivated. I think there's a Run Disney group on Facebook for some support and encouragement. But I also know that they have been they were experimenting with a virtual half marathon, maybe marathon as well. It was a Star Wars themed run. They have moved for the time being all their runs to virtual runs, though you can still, like we said last week, run around property and complete those while you're down there at Walt Disney World, if you so choose. But yeah, virtual series, it's fun. If you actually run it, you've got medals to kind of commemorate it. You can actually print off certificates, put in your name and time. So you've got completion certificates to put with your medals if you'd like. But that's just one of the ways that Disney encourages working out at home when you're not on property.
Yeah, I'm looking right here at the 2021 Star Wars half marathon at rundisney.com. And it looks like that the half marathon, again, because this is at home, not on property, not at a specific date, you can have a bit more leeway with when you get these things done. And so you are able to complete the Star Wars virtual 2021 half marathon anytime between January 1st and March 31st of this year. So you've got a full 3 months to accomplish the half marathon. And then when you do it, like you're saying, that you can have completion certificates, you can get medals and stuff. I think that last year, just looking at Run Disney, their virtual series that they did during the summer that you did it was all Marvel based. This one was like Magic Kingdom based. And so I saw that a couple of the runs, like you get one for the Haunted Mansion, you get another medal themed for Space Mountain, and the third, for the Mad Teacups. For those. So just interesting how every year they change it up. So you're not just going to get your typical finisher or whatever it is, a kind of medal. You get something that every year is cool and unique, which again, when you're dealing with a multi conglomerate company traded on the stock exchange like Disney, you can expect a lot of cool stuff where I may not be able to put together a virtual series like this. It's like, thank goodness we have a Disney that thinks of all of these fun opportunities for us as fans of the brand, and also exercise enthusiasts, that we can participate and do it in a Disney way. So they always do such a good job, and even something that's going to be enjoyed from the comfort of your area, get out, run when you can kind of thing, versus having to be in Orlando or Anaheim. You can still have all the Disney magic wherever you are.
Yeah. And, I was just getting into the Marvel movies when this was happening. So I was very excited because I didn't read comic books growing up, but I really enjoyed the movies and hearing what the medals were going to be. I didn't know what they looked like when I signed up. I was really excited about that. And I mean, there's kind of a theme here with Marvel. So another way that you can work out at home with a little Disney flair is working out like the actors and actresses who portrayed the Marvel characters did. Yeah. So Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, has his own app. It's called Center, CENTR. I looked it up just before we went live. It is right now $10 a month. It's normally $20 a month subscription. You get a week free, but it takes you through workouts. It takes you through some yoga and meditation kind of recovery stuff. And it also has the recipe home cooking aspect as well.
The diet. Yeah.
So it's really a complete thing. He seems to be the only one who has actually created an app of his own for this. But he's got his personal trainers. His wife is a part of it as well. Got a bunch of chefs, lots of different options. I have not tried it. I want to, but I have not tried it yet. But I have, when I discovered that, I did kind of find out, okay, who's his trainer? Went and found his trainer on YouTube and found a couple workouts that Chris Hemsworth has done, either getting ready for Thor or one of my favorites is between having to portray Thor and when he was in Men in Black. He had to slim down, but not necessarily lose any muscle. And so it's one of those HIT workouts. I'm not sure how you say it, but
high interval. What is it? High
intensity interval training.
Interval training. There we go.
Yeah. So it's fun because it just keeps moving. Found a couple different versions of that. He posted one on YouTube at the beginning of the pandemic showing, hey, here's something that you can do. And it's him lifting laundry baskets and I don't know if it's cat food or laundry detergent, and a lot of body weight exercises. So that's another fun thing to do. Kind of alongside that, a lot of magazines, like I found men's journal articles, I found men's fitness articles looking at not only Chris Hemsworth, but Robert Downey Jr. There's an Iron Man workout series as well. So finding those and using those at home, a lot of this stuff is actually just body weight exercises. Unless if you live Thor and really trying to bulk up, but still a lot of this can be done at home.
I was going to say, and even if you are Thor and need to bulk up, just go to your nearest junkyard or trash heap and find some old tire. Just start flipping it. You'll do fine. If you find some sort of rope, you can start going back and forth by holding it in two different places. Yeah. So a lot of it is body weight exercises or things you would find around the house and or junkyard.
Yeah. Yeah. You can really just find scraps and kind of build your own gym there in the backyard.
Well, I'd echo as well what you said about the magazines. It's funny, if you lived in a world where for whatever reason you couldn't find out about new Marvel movies that are coming out, you will know a new Marvel movie is coming out if one of the characters from that movie is now on the cover of Men's Health or Men's Journal or whatever it may be, because they are so tied in, like those superhero characters are so tied into fitness that every time a new movie comes out, it's like, how did, like what you're saying a minute ago with the Center app, like how did Chris Hemsworth go from playing an agent in a Men in Black movie to Thor in just a short amount of time? We've got to talk to his trainer and see what he ate and what he did and how often he slept and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you could like tie it into whatever or whoever you see on the cover, it's like, oh, there's a new Thor coming out or a new whatever the new Marvel movie may come out, because it is so tied in to health and fitness.
Well, and I had this thought the other day. I feel like Fat Thor from Endgame. My wife says I often act like Tony Stark, and I wish I had the body of Captain America, because he's not so big. I mean, Thor is almost so big that it's, I mean, I don't know that I would want to walk around with that body. It's just too much. But Captain America seems a little more not achievable, because I'm not going to get there, but a little more realistic in the fact that I think he can still, it seems like he can still function in a 9 to 5 if need be. But what really got this whole thing going for us when we decided we wanted to do this kind of 2-part series was we were talking, and I said, yeah, I've been watching the Marvel movies, and this time I was watching it in chronological order, which is something that you've said you're now doing, which means instead of starting with Iron Man, you start with Captain America and then go to Captain Marvel, which Captain Marvel was one of the last movies released before Endgame. So it's a different order a little bit, but let me tell you, watching these superhero movies really gets me motivated to, a lot of times I'm riding a stationary bike, pedal a little harder. Makes me really want to make sure I get all the reps in that Chris Hemsworth workout that I do. Whether it's a P90X workout, whatever it is, I kind of throw them all together. But it's great motivation seeing those guys up there on the screen. Okay, I can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's so much encouragement there. And, I've realized that I work out more when I know that somebody else is paying attention. And so, and you think about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that like there were a lot of underlying jokes and then overt jokes through the characters of like, hey, you're letting yourself go, or how'd you lift that? I want to be able to do that. So they're like subtly encouraging each other. And this isn't necessarily tied in with Disney, but I know that you and we share each other's fitness tracking on our Apple Watches. So that way, when I get finished with a Peloton ride, then every now and then I'm just like cooling down and I get a comment from you, because my watch then speaks to you and says, hey, Chris went on a bike ride. Then you can write back and encourage me and that kind of thing. And so sometimes I'm like, I don't want to work out, but I know that I have the opportunity of Bradley seeing the fact that I did work out. So I want to be impressive to Bradley. And so I'm going to go work out, if nothing more than I want Bradley to go like, Chris did a workout kind of thing. So the encouragement of your teammate is also a really good strategy.
And I feel like most of my friends work out in the morning, and my schedule is once my kid is in bed and I know he's asleep, that's when I go work out. So sometimes I'm not finishing until 11:30 at night, depending on how many things I have to get done before I can work out. And so it's I kind of have to squeeze it in there before the midnight cutoff. But it is fun. The watch has competitions that make it fun. You can see how you and your friends really stack up without, it's more about personal records and personal bests, and how you can push yourself and how that compares to other people. Not necessarily, do I have to run a mile faster than you kind of competition.
Right, yeah. Sure.
But I agree. It is just that competition, having somebody looking over your shoulder makes me want to make sure that I finish my workout, get one in, and really take care of myself that way.
I'll be honest with you and the listeners here, or the watchers here. I'm a morning workout person. If you see me sparking up your Apple Watch and it's after like 10 p.m., you can almost assuredly go, oh, Chris realized that he was 10 minutes away from hitting his exercise goal. And so he's doing something. He's not moving a lot or sweating at all over there, but he's moving around just to go over that ledge. So yeah, if you get something from me in the evening, I cheated my way to that exercise goal.
It has been, brush my teeth, get ready to hop in bed and look at my watch. It's like, oh crap, I got 40 more calories that I need to burn, or,
exactly.
I got 7 more minutes on my exercise ring. All right. Functional strength training, and I'm doing squats and push-ups. I'm like, what are you doing? I gotta complete my ring.
Get it. Yeah. But if you ever see me doing this, and those of you on YouTube can see me, I'm moving my arm back and forth. And so if you're listening to it, you won't be able to see this, but I'm basically taking my watch arm and moving it around. So my Apple Watch assumes that I've stood up for the hour. So then I can go back to doing whatever I want to do. So if you see me doing a wave motion really fast for a minute or two, usually around the 10-minute to the new hour mark, like 10:50, 11:50, that's just me trying to get my stand goal. So,
well, I love playing air drums.
Nice.
Because especially on road trips, it's like, look, I know I'm going to stand up because your watch wants you to stand up for 1 minute for every hour for 12 hours. Yeah. Okay. So 12 minutes, basically. I know that I will be standing up longer than that. So I will cheat, and I will play air drums on car rides to get that. It's much harder in Zoom meetings or even in-person meetings that go long to try to get that stand goal. It's hard to play air drums when you're supposed to be listening to financial reports or something.
Totally.
But there are lots of good ways to keep moving while you're at home. You can also listen to our podcast while you walk around the neighborhood. There are tons of great Disney podcasts. You can do that. listen to your favorite Disney soundtracks. There are also a bunch of business podcasts about the way Disney does business with former cast members. So lots of different options there. But I do want to get to plussing this week because it's a little bit of how you can have the Disney magic outside of the Disney properties. So let's get to this week's plussing.
Plussing.
You know, kind of tying in this week's plussing with what we've been talking about with exercise. Oftentimes for Christmas this past year, my son got an Oculus 2 VR headset, virtual reality, and we have been having so much fun. And you know, he is way better at any type of video game or VR experience than I am. So there's one game called Beat Saber that I play a lot, which is basically just hitting a block as it flies towards you in the direction in which it says. So there's a little arrow on the box. So if it says do right, you kind of take your saber and you slice it right, kind of like an old Fruit Ninja game on an iPhone or Android. So I do all that, and sometimes I get so into trying to beat each level that I'm sweating by the end of it. So virtually, I have worked myself up into a sweat a time or two. My son, when he's in certain campaigns, whether he's playing some sort of sports game or some shooting game or whatever it may be, he comes out of his room often with his, like you can see kind of a ring around where his eyes, where the virtual reality goggles were. And then just, you know, hair matted down, sweating because he's working so hard. And I love it. It's like he can be playing with friends from across the world in real time, and he's getting exercise, he's getting good social interaction. So my tune over the last couple of years, my tune as a father of just like, no, too many video games will rot your brain out kind of thing, to like, well, if you're getting a lot of social interaction and you're getting a good workout in, like, who's to say that's not, if I just kicked you out of playing virtual reality to go outside, you could be getting more opportunities from having the goggles on. All that said, I found something from a YouTube channel called Defunct Land, where they talk about old rides from amusement parks and things that aren't around anymore and what happened to them and when were they the greatest and why did they go away. It's a really, really cool channel on YouTube called Defunct Land. They talk about all sorts of rides from all the Disney properties to all the Universal Studios and Six Flags properties around the country. And so it's really cool. They are big Disney fans as well over at Defunct Land, and they created a VR experience to where you can virtually go on the now defunct ride of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That used to be at Magic Kingdom. You can now put your VR goggles on and take the ride. And, you know, the animation isn't like you feel fully enveloped in an actual real world experience, but this is something that you and I have talked about in the past about, wouldn't it be cool if we could go back to an earlier version of Disney and experience it in a video game or some sort of walkthrough on YouTube or something like that? Right. But now there is one person out there, at least, that is creating old defunct Walt Disney World rides, theme park attractions, so that you can experience them as much as you can in a VR experience. And it blew me away. It was so amazing that I wrote it a couple of times. Again, I think it's about a 10 or a 15-minute travel through. And it isn't the kind of VR experience where you can grab everything and throw them across the room. It's kind of a guided thing. So they will take you into the rooms. But for a first draft, I got to ride 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I haven't done since the 80s. So cool. Just I'm monologuing over here, so forgive me for going off on this, but it was just so excited. I was like, Bradley, you can do VR 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's so cool. And so with what we're talking about today, by experiencing Disney in your own homes, even if it's reading a Men's Health article and then doing the workout that Iron Man did, this is a similar thing where you can experience a part of Disney that's not even affiliated with Disney. It's just somebody who loves it just like you and I do. Creating old rides that you can't see in the theme parks anymore. So very cool.
I love it. You know, you and I were talking, it's like, man, you just need to get a pair of these things and try these ride throughs, because it's really cool getting to see a piece of history. And of course my mind is racing on, how did they do it? Did they have 360 cameras back then that they were using, or but
right.
but that's another topic for a different day. But really cool what you can do. It's just on YouTube and some VR goggles.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's its own experience. Defunctland has a lot of cool videos about old places in the parks, theme park rides, whole sections of theme parks that aren't there anymore and why they went away. So check out Defunctland. It's a cool YouTube site.
I love it. Well, and while you're over on YouTube, find our YouTube videos.
There you go.
You can also find us on social media at The Mouse and Men on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go to themouseandmen.com where you can get that top 10 things for adults to do, for grownups to do at Walt Disney World. And look, some of us grew up reading these comic books with the Avengers, Iron Man, the Hulk, Thor, who we got, the Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, everybody. Some of us did not, but we like the movies. Yeah. And there is, there's that kind of childlike excitement when a new one comes out. It just reminds me that you can't grow up too fast.
But you got to keep exploring.
Love it. See you, Chris.
See you, buddy.